I don't want to reach the topmost position anywhere. I'm happy the way I'm growing. I'm happy the way I'm earning. But what I'm observed is that I must follow the ethics ground rule that I have set myself. I can't compromise that for anything.
Our today's guest is an experienced financial professional with 3 decades of post-qualification stint in Chennai-based conglomerate Repute. He is a postgraduate in Commerce and associate member of Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, besides having done 3-tier SMTP program at IIM Ahmedabad. Currently, he is the CFO and Company Secretary of Coromandel Engineering Company Ltd, a company with 70 years of legacy. He would be known for not only functioning skills but also ability to enhance teamwork, empathy, and working across functions. Mr. R. Narayanan.
So thank you so much for being on the show, sir. It's an honor for me to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. I'm also happy to be associated with Real Tycoon.
Yeah. So CEC, Coromandel Engineering Company, the company with a 70-year legacy. So diving up straight into the operations. So why don't you just walk us through the operations and business that's happening in CEC?
Yeah, sure. I will begin with Murugappa Group.
Okay.
Murugappa Group was founded in 1900, so almost more than a century old.
Right.
Today we are a Indian rupee 300 billion group, and there are about 28 diverse businesses: abrasive, cycle, you name anything, sugar. We touch almost India in almost every manner we can. There are 28 businesses. There are 9 listed companies like Carborundum Universal, Tube Investment, EID Paris, Coromandel Engg, etc. So we are market leaders in many segments and also have reputed brands everywhere. And also there are 35,000 direct employees associated with the group.
35,000.
35,000, yeah. Okay. So, and probably many more lakhs of people are working with us in some manner or other. So that is about the Murugappa Group. And Coromandel Engineering is a part of the Murugappa Group. Okay. Murugappa Group is very well known for integrity and ethics. So corporate governance, etc. Even though it's a family managed business, very well respected across India and globe. And we have a document called 5 Lights, which embodies the spirit of Murugappa Group. No, 5 lights.
5 lights. Okay.
Yeah. So it talks in every situation how a Murugappa Group person should behave.
So in the sense, those are the principles upon which the company has built upon itself.
So the group and the company and every employee is supposed to behave in that manner.
Okay.
So Coromandel Engineering is a part of the Murugappa Group. It was formed in the month of September 1947. So that is why the 70-year legacy is there. Okay. Almost within a month of Indian independence, this company was formed by the promoters of the Murugappa Group, which showed their vision that they wanted to be in the construction phase. It was almost the first among the first corporate structure built by the group. So we started with doing the construction business for a group company, like maybe some factories in Tiruvatiur or Ambattur, something which was coming up. We started with that, and we are now 70 years old. Mostly we are in industrial construction. Say it could be a power plant or cement plant, or it could be an engineering plant, automobiles. So wherever there are factory structures, we have been there in civil construction and also some portion of the mechanical. If you see some of the marquee structures that associated with CCL, you take the LIC building in Mount Road, 14 stories. It was built in the year 1959. You know, so long back.
Yeah.
And at one point of time, it was the tallest building in Chennai.
Right.
So it was built by Coromandel Engineering. So similarly, you take Trident Hotel, Chora Sheraton, or Windsor Manor in Bangalore, Holiday Inn. So a lot of mark structures were built by us over a period of years, and we are also associated with many corporates like India Cements, Ramco Cements, power plants, Daimler, Ford. So we have done industrial construction for many of these reputed people. It was in the year 1988 that we entered the residential construction building. Okay. We have a brand called Coral. So Coral NR, Coral Roslyn, Coral Cascade, like that. So predominantly we have built apartments in the city of Chennai. We had a small presence in Coimbatore also. So this is the 70 years legacy of Coromandel Engineering. This business, this construction business allied to the infrastructure has a lot of ups and downs. There is a long cycle of positive energy. Businesses are booming, factories are being constructed. So then business volume goes up, and then there is a lull in the economy. Due to regulatory issues or the global issues, then businesses don't do well. They stop all construction activities. There is no greenfield or brownfield expansion. Then we also suffer. Then our order book comes down, payment gets stuck up. So this is a cyclical industry, and we are just coming out of a 6-year downturn. Last 6 years we had a downturn. Now things are looking better, with order flow is improving, liquidity is improving. So we hope to get better now.
But there was one funny feeling I had while I was like going through the portfolio of the company, like all the major landmarks.
Yeah,
the Grand Chola Hotel.
Yeah. Not Grand Chola, it is Chola Sheraton.
Chola Sheraton.
Say TM House just opposite the beach railway station, Karamuttu Center, DBS Bank. So we have done a lot of those buildings.
The Chola Sheraton, I mean, of course, I went wrong.
Yeah.
The Chola Sheraton, the LIC building. Yeah. Like all the landmark buildings, like which people talk about in Chennai whenever they want to point out to something. Like I was absolutely fascinated. Oh my God, these were the people like who built everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you please explain your career at CEC?
Yeah, I will have to start with Murugappa Group, because I recently completed 20 years with Murugappa Group. So I joined the group in March 1998 with Carborundum Universal. After working with various units of Carborundum Universal, including the head office, corporate office, I moved to CEC in the year, it was late 2011. So I just completed 6 years plus with Coromandel Engineering. So I am a postgraduate in commerce and a cost accountant and a company secretary. So I am now holding the dual responsibility of chief financial officer and company secretary of Coromandel Engineering. So initially, the time when I came in, Coromandel had one of the largest losses in its history due to the downturn in business. So from there, we have gradually reduced the losses, and the financial structure, we have reorganized the structure. There were a lot of about 30 project sites at that time in places like Maharashtra, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka, etc. Over last 6 years, with the support of the board of directors, gradually reduced the number of loss-making sites and closed many of those operations. And now we are trying to have a limited number of work, limited number of sites where we can do a larger volume of work, so that the control is with us. So I've been through this phase of consolidation of the business. We have reduced our debt, manpower has been rationalized. So now actually we are in a position where we can build up on the order book and then turn profitable. So that is it's been a very stressed time for the business itself. So naturally, when the business is stressed, the role of the chief financial officer is very difficult to manage. To pay people on time, to pay salaries, to collect money, and to ensure profitability of the business. So these are the things that I have undergone in the last 6 years.
So like what goes through your mind when you are hand over the business itself? It was like in a stress state, right? Like what goes through your mind when you are hand over the business in such a state? How do you deal with it? Like how did you deal with it actually?
Yeah, see, actually, it is one good thing is that the support of the Murugappa Group is there. The principles are that you should deal in such a manner that when you go home, you sleep peacefully in the night. You don't do anything, no shortcuts are allowed. You don't fudge anything. You do everything in the right manner. Even though currently it is a difficult phase, you do everything in the right manner. So that is what the group has taught all of us. So here, the support we get from the group. So we try to get orders from known sources. We go to reputed corporate and then try to get more orders, do the execution faster. And then there is a board of directors to guide us and control us and monitor us and ask questions. And wherever we are going off the track, they correct us. So it is with the support of, and in terms of funding also, since we are part of the Murugappa Group, so where to get some other loan, get funding from the shareholders, etc. So it is because of the support of the Murugappa Group that we have come through this most difficult phase, and now we are in a position where we can come back to positive results.
So I want to go into a bit depth actually over here. So what were the steps actually? I mean, can you just describe a very brief, like what were the steps you took initiatives while not to put things into a better phase?
Yeah, see, when we had a great loss, big loss, 32 crores of loss, that was a huge amount in the financial year 2011-12.
Right.
So then we analyzed why this has happened. So, see, loss in a construction can come because of multiple reasons. One is that you have quoted very low, not understanding the job, you have quoted very low, but actual work is involved is much higher. So you are spending more money, then you are incurring the loss. Secondly, you might have quoted right, but execution has been bad. No, the person who determine the profitability of any project is the project manager at site. If he is very capable, no, he reviews everything closely at the site. What is the work happening? What is the cost budget allocated for me? How much I am spending? How much work I must do every day? Am I doing that? If that sort of person is there, then any project can become profitable. Whereas if the project manager and this team there are not so efficient and not monitoring, then what happens is there are a lot of wastages, material wastages, labor, idle labor. You have material but labor is not available, but when labor comes, material is not there, those kind of things. So what we did was that we analyzed the reason for this losses at different sites.
So you got into the ground and you tried to understand where the difficulties were happening, and you had to cut each one of them, like sort each one of them.
Exactly. See, not all the projects may be undergoing losses. Identify which projects are undergoing losses where there is positive results. So we supported the project with positive results. In case of the negative results wherever happening, we went into the reason, and then there is nothing much you can do. You have to just complete the project because you cannot run away from the project. Being Murugappa Group, you cannot simply run away from the project. Whether it is loss or profit, you have to complete the project as per the contract that we have entered into, hand over the project to the client, collect our money and come back. So first 2 years, what we did was we did all these things from about 30 project sites all over India. Gradually, we also decided that we will not go into most difficult areas like Orissa, etc. Because there, even now you can see that there are a lot of projects announced, but they are not able to do that because of law and order or whatever it is. So we decided that we will reduce the number of states where we try to do project in Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka, etc. And so rationalization of the states where we are operating, and we also said we will not run after all the projects. One of the reasons for the loss could be that we expanded too fast without the basic setup in place. So we could not be able to control all this project site. But so what we did was that we decided that we will have a minimum margin requirement. If any contract where the client offers less than that, we will not accept whoever it is. So we will not run after order or top line. We will concentrate on the bottom line. We will have a minimum margin requirement. We will take only those profitable orders. So the rationalization of the places where we are doing the business, and then working with some minimum margin requirement. And internally we did a lot of process controls, like we worked on ERP migration, which can allow us to sit in Chennai and monitor all the project sites that are happening. So we have a software called Microman. So we used that. So a lot of internal process controls are also put in. Control on labor utilization, material purchases were centralized. So we did various things in operations, finance, in HR some changes were made. So it is a collective effort of the entire team, which gradually all these loss making sites have been closed. And now we have a limited number of orders with some well-known names where payment should also be not a problem. See, because many cases what happens is you do the project correctly, but due to client reasons, either they don't have money or they are not straightforward, so our money gets stuck up. So we have tried to avoid all these mistakes of the past. So even though we have come down in volume, today we are at a place where we can now build up for the future.
Okay, do you think, because I'm just trying to think of one of the point actually that you spoke at. So do you think rapid expansion was something that that might have incurred the losses?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the learning is that when you want to go, because during those phases, infrastructure was a big booming business at that particular point of time. We don't go to roads or bridges, etc. We only do industrial construction or residential construction, etc. with some portion of mechanical work. But even there, when you expand to multiple states, multiple projects without fully understanding the implication, because when you do a project, you need some 20 people to manage it, and some 100, 200 laborers to be hired from subcontractors, etc. So then the regulatory requirement at that particular place, whether the client has all his environmental clearance. Sometimes what happens is you go and start the project, then client says, I don't have this environmental clearance, so stop the work. So if you are expanding rapidly in a shorter span, and at the time your backend must be fully prepared. You must have very capable people here. Each one should be each project must be controlled by someone from here who must be monitoring it on a regular basis, day-to-day basis. So I think one of the reasons for any company's loss could be that when they expand too rapidly without having all the fundamentals in place, this kind of problems can come.
Okay, that was absolutely super powerful actually. So coming to our next phase. So what are the challenges you as a CFO have faced in a construction company?
Yeah, see, actually, I've long been even telling my earlier team that the life of a CFO is decided by the business conditions. The business is doing extremely well, collections are coming, profit is there, then the role of the CFO is only working on some further improvements. But where the company is under stress, the industry is under stress, collections are not coming, sales is not happening, you are reporting losses, etc. The life of the CFO naturally, it is like an individual only. You have good income, you can live peacefully. If you don't have income, expenses are high, then every day you are stressed. So I think the main challenges in this real estate or infrastructure company currently is that one first foremost thing is the unpredictability of collections and cash flow. Even if you are doing good work, but if the customer is not able to pay you on time, or you are doing a very good residential apartment, quality is excellent, people are buying, but suppose you are not able to get the payment on time. So that is the biggest challenge today facing any infrastructure business. Uncertainty of cash flows. What happens is, you need some 10 crores next month, but you are not able to predict whether it will come or not. Then you have to go and keep additional working capital, and then borrow more, and then incur more interest cost, which is not reimbursed by anyone. So today I think the major problem facing our company or any other infrastructure real estate company is this liquidity and cash flow issue. Second thing, specifically for a construction sector, is that 40% of the people in our company are more or less fixed, whereas the 60% of the people, they come and go. Because today I start a project in Tirupati, it's a 6 month, 12 month. So after it is over, some people will leave. Everyone will not go to the next project. So these people keep on changing, moving from here and there and on. So what happens is, as a CFO, my interest is to project a correct MIS.
MIS in the sense?
Management information, monthly management information system, daily reports, inventory movement, aging of the inventory, etc. So what happens is, when unlike a factory where people are set, processes are set, whereas in a construction site, people come and go. So before you teach them the company's ethics, processes, etc., procedures, etc., the project might be over. So as a CFO, my problem was that the flow of information from all the project site to the corporate office, then MIS can be generated, then you can do variance analysis, then take control measures. So it also needs a good ERP where people do everyday work at the project site, and then it translates to a information here. So this churn of the people, closure of project site, new project site coming up, this is a challenge for almost all the construction companies. It can be managed if you have a very good process control, procedures are laid out, and some people in say finance, HR, project manager, they are with the company for a longer time. Once you go to a project site, they immediately establish all this control. Whoever comes in new has to follow this. So I think the second issue would be that this kind of churn in the in the employee count, head count.
Okay.
So once we were about 500. So this year we have come down to 100 because, as I informed you, because we have a lot of project sites have got completed and naturally those people would leave. Now if the business improves, again our head count will go up. So that is the manner in which this industry operates.
So I want to understand something a bit more actually. So when you come to a role of the CFO, so how are the operations kind of specifically laid out? Like, is it like your role is specifically laid out, or you are given a set of things that you need to definitely take care of? How is it?
See, actually,
in a construction company specifically.
See, actually, not only here, but the role of a CFO is much broader.
Okay.
See, for example, manufacturing, they have to concentrate on manufacturing. If they get the material, they will at the machine, they do that and go. When marketing, they have to sell. It is difficult. I am not saying that is very easy or anything like that. They actually do the things. HR or finance are only supporting role. However, no, we often equate the role of a CFO to a wicket keeper or a goalkeeper.
Okay.
You know, the bowler comes and bowls 6 balls and go away. Fielder has to stand in a place.
Right.
A batsman has to face something, whereas the wicket keeper has to be alert always. He has to see, how the batsman is batting, where he is sending the ball. Similarly, a goalkeeper in a football or hockey, he has to observe the entire field and then see what is happening, and then give guidance to the captain, saying that see that you have to cover that area or something like that. Similarly, CFO, well, the direct role is very simple. No, we can simplify saying what is the role played by finance. No, everything happens in ERP. You are only doing postmortem like that. Whereas today the role has changed. Today you have to observe what is happening. Market collections are coming. Which client is not paying? How much money you need? Whether it will come? Whether you have to borrow? Where the costs are incurred beyond plan, etc. So therefore, I think this role of the CFO, in one sense, it is very simple, just reporting. Whereas today, it is changed because we have the overall understanding of the business. If one side is there, the project manager may understand only that project side. Whereas we will have to understand all the 30 sides, where loss is coming, where profit is coming, where the client is paying, and then advise the top management that these are the plus points, these are the minus points, etc. So I would say that the role of the CFO has become very important today in strategic planning, forecasting, cash flow management, risk management. Today there are a lot of risk for a business.
Right.
You would have done everything well, but suddenly there can be a high court ruling can come, your business is stopped. So like that, there are a lot of risk today in business. So Facebook was going fine last week. Now suddenly everyone is against Facebook.
Yeah.
Like that, so many things are happening. So you know what happened in cricket also. So there are a lot of risk for the business today. So the CFO has to, as a guardian of the assets of the company and policies and procedures of the company, has to be on the watch for all these things.
So do you generally? So I'm not talking about the 5 lights actually. So coming to your experience, have you laid out any principles? Definitely, like, because that seems like because the number of decisions you have to make on a day-to-day basis are actually huge. So what are the principles that you have laid down, like from the beginning of your career while taking decisions? What to respond, what not to respond. There are a lot of things that you have to avoid. There's a lot of noise out there. So how do you do that?
See, I think it is also very closely aligned with 5 lights, but as an accounting principle, one of the very important thing is, first, you don't take any shortcut. Today, if you face a problem and try to come out of this. To solve this problem, don't do anything wrong so that you land into the next problem.
Okay.
So first thing is, I think for me, not taking any shortcut and facing the problem head on in the right manner, that is very important. Now, second thing I would say is being very transparent and open. Even if you are critical of other business, like this is not happening in the right manner, that is happening in the right manner, etc. So if we are afraid to tell the truth, talk the truth, then more problems will come for the organization. Therefore, in best possible manner, communicate within the organization what is happening right, what is not happening right, where we have to go. So I think second thing would be for me a transparent communication.
Okay.
Now third thing is most important in Murugappa Group and also for finance professional or company secretary, statutory compliance are very, very important. If you just today, so many things are happening around us. So if you miss any statutory compliances, then you are finished. Your company's image is also gone and your career is also gone. So in Murugappa Group, we are especially told that first priority is statutory compliances. Even business make profit or loss, if you deduct TDS, pay to the government on time. Interest payment to be made on time. Principal repayment to be made on time. So be prepared for all these things. Don't take any statutory requirements lightly. Follow all the rules. If business make losses, we can probably next quarter we can come up. Business can improve. But if you make if a reputation is lost, it is permanently lost. So I think these are the some of the things which I follow, so that you are able to carry on in the dignified manner for the business also, the group image also, and for your own self. And other finally, what I would say is for me what is important is working closely with all the functions. So like I earlier told, the role of a CFO, this is very important to have a good relationship with marketing, manufacturing, HR, everyone, because you bring together everyone. You arrange for the review meeting, and many times what happens is the marketing may have an issue with manufacturing. They may not communicate directly to them. But when we have a good rapport, they come and say, "Sir, you are asking for sale, but this is what I am not getting the product on time." You go and talk to manufacturing. They may say, "Sir, raw material shortage is there." Then you have to go and talk to commercial department. It is not that they won't talk to each other, but when you get this overall perspective, you are able to bring everyone together and try to improve the business.
So coming to real estate industry again on a scale I'm talking about. So transparency is something that's actually a problem. Like there's a huge imbalance, right?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with it? Because whenever people are quoting something, there's again a huge something like there's again a lot of lack of transparency over there. So how do you deal with it?
Yeah, see, actually, this Real Estate Regulation Act came into force last year. But when we read through the act, we found that 90%, almost 90% of the conditions laid down there, we are already following that.
Great, okay.
So even we have the group as a principle from Artha Shastra, which says that no one who is dealing with you should lose anything. You are dealing with anyone should be a win-win for both the parties. For example, no, if I made a wrong quote, I have sold an apartment, I have made a wrong calculation. Actually, I am going to spend more than what I am going to take the money. Maybe many of the developers will run away from the project or try to get more money from the buyer. Whereas, as far as we are concerned, if they have signed a contract, you have to do something. Whether you are earning profit or loss, you complete your obligations and then come out. Similarly, when you get a money, you don't divert it to anything else. So we only focus for the last 70 years. We are in a very narrow band only. We don't say we will go and build roads, we will go and build airports, etc. We say this is our core competency, we will concentrate on this. Therefore, even when RERA came in, we found that mostly we are following all the things, only minor procedural thing we will have to do that. So, we deal with all our clients in the civil construction or with our buyers in real property development equal in a fair manner. And therefore, no, it is that this all because of the group philosophy.
Okay.
So as far as our company transparency is concerned, definitely I am not saying that we have delivered all the projects on time, because there are so many things you have to manage when you are suddenly no sand is not available in Tamil Nadu. So many builders today are stuck up. What can they do? They can't get sand, they can't do the building, but they have agreed on a committed date with the buyer. So then there is court cases, newspaper reports and all. But actually, this real estate business is a very tough business. Getting approvals, it takes enormous time. Then suddenly shortage of sand, or suddenly if labor, election in Orissa comes, all this labor who are engaged here will go there for 15 days, 1 month, etc. So we face a lot of this problem. And then there is a huge pile of inventory you are unable to sell. And you are unable to collect money, and you don't have money to build further. So it's a business risk, no doubt. But because of this risk today, I think almost 70-80% of the real estate developers have got a bad name. Fortunately for us, we have a limited presence. We complete our project more or less on time. There may be some delays here and there due to factors beyond our control. But finally, we complete everything, hand it over. We get all the approvals ahead of time. We only do work only after approvals are received. So we follow all this rule. Therefore, as far as our company is concerned, transparency has not been a major issue.
So looking at the career, you have started your career at 1988. So from 1988 to 2018. So there has been a drastic improvement in technology. It's 1988. I have not even born. That's a different.
Yeah, okay.
So how did you see the technology eating up businesses? The kind of technology that how did it replace the people?
See, actually, when you talk about technology, now I will talk specifically with respect to Coromandel engineering. This construction industry is notorious for being resisting changes in technology. You know, from time immemorial, you would have seen the same kind of masons or kottanas or whatever it is, taking the brick, putting some cement mix over that, and all those things. Not that nothing has changed, or things have changed, but this industry, no, it is not like a newspaper where you can read it through electronic medium or anything. Today, if you want to build a building, you have to go there and dig the ground, excavate, and then put some foundation and do construction over that. Similarly, the attitude of the industry people would also be that we have been doing the same thing, whether it is building or even maintaining records, ensuring daily records are kept, entering that in a computer and all those things, whether it is construction per se or even the supporting things required for the business. This industry people, they have been most of them have been telling that we are accustomed to working only like this.
Right.
So this is a very hard thing to change. Now, with respect to construction technology, I think now there is a move towards prefabricated structures. No, you do everything somewhere else and then come and deliver in a project site. Okay. Why? Because in the project site, you need hundreds of labor. Then you need to get organized sand, cement, everything here. So, like assembly line production, today the movement is that I will have a big space where sand, everything will be available, machineries will be available. I will do a prefabricated construction there. Simply bring it here, assemble here. So that is the latest thing that is happening in the construction sector. But India is still behind. India is not so advanced. I think abroad, I have read that a lot of places this is happening. India is only catching up with this because this will really save a lot of time in the project construction side and reduce your cost, and quality will be more standardized. So this is happening in the technology. But other than this, as far as this construction technology in India and specific to Coromandel engineering itself is concerned, I have not seen much of a change over last. Some minor, mechanization of something may be done, but to a large extent there is no significant technology changes.
Okay.
Now coming to the softer aspects, as I was telling, when the company is not doing well, then you need to have all your information on time, and that must be very authentic. With that, you must analyze and take a decision.
Right.
For this, the need for proper ERP, which can be operated even out of our remote sites, maybe some remote area in Orissa. So then connectivity must be there, or connectivity may not be there, and then you must provide computers there, and this software must be able to work from anywhere across India and then get integrated into operations, reporting in head office. Yeah. So this is the second portion where most of the construction companies face a lot of challenges in having right kind of software in remote places and making people actually use them, and then getting the output here and then analyzing them and taking some meaningful decisions.
Do you think every construction company needs an ERP?
Yeah, definitely. I think provided you have multiple sites, different places. See, if it is a family owner run and I have only 2-3 sites, every day I go there and see, I actually give the cash for disbursement every day, then it may not be needed. But if you are a medium-sized company, your project site come and go, then different people are placed everywhere, then it has to be centrally controlled. See, if I don't have a daily information, how can I plan for next week? What is the wages that will be asked by different sites? I need to be prepared for that. What will be the material required and how much I must pay to the creditors? So definitely where a multi-location project sites are there for a construction industry, definitely a ERP is definitely required.
So getting on to the other side of the coin. So who do you think of when you listen to the word successful?
When you list success. See, success for me is not determined just by the kind of riches you have or the success you have in your field. Not merely by this, but for me, success is also determined by the image that you have got or the impact that you are making on positive impact you are making on the other people. So, if you ask me to name a contemporary single person whom I feel is successful, I would probably say that PV Sindhu as an example. She is a young woman, very hardworking, an example, very motivated, and successful also. And she has also a very positive image. So I think for me, success would be not being number one in my field or anything like that. But beyond that, also you should be having a very positive image and impact on the entire society. Today, I think, for example, in cricket, Rahul Dravid, you talk about it, everyone is very happy.
Right.
No, he's not only successful batsman, but his image is a very clean image and very nice person. Like that, everyone speaks about him. So for me, success is defined by this kind of people.
Positivity is power, kind of.
Yeah.
So then what about belief system? Coming to belief system. So everyone has got some belief that other people treat as insane. What about your belief?
Yeah, see, one thing is a place for everything and everything in its place. At least I'm talking about the home concept, home, because I hope nothing I behave is treated as insane in office. But at least in home, this outlook towards a place for everything and everything in play. I keep on monitoring this and so my two daughters are extremely unhappy with me on this. They want me to adjust on this because today's youngsters, they want to be free. They don't want to be bound by anything. So this need not be there. It can be anywhere. So that so I think that behavior would be probably insane by my daughter's standards. Always cribbing on that.
So coming to obsession. So every entrepreneur, whomever you look, they are obsessed about something. What are you obsessed about?
Yeah, see, actually being an accountant and also having worked with groups like Murugappa, I am obsessed with only one thing, that is my ethics and principle. Nothing, obsession to the core. I don't want to reach the topmost position anywhere. I'm happy the way I'm growing. I'm happy the way I'm earning. But what I'm obsessed is that I must follow the ethics ground rule that I have set myself. I can't compromise that for anything that, and I also ensure that when I dealing in the office, I give priority for that. If any of my colleague is not efficient, I can tolerate. I can always teach him how he can be more efficient. If he's incompetent, then I can give him training. I can talk to him. I can teach him, etc. But anyone does not meet the requirement of the integrity or something like that, then it is a strict no for me. So I whether it is my department or any other department in the company, I am very particular that the company's policies, procedures, or the highlights, everything is adhered to in spirit and in actuality. So not merely in a letter, but in spirit also.
Do you believe in this particular belief called there are no bad teams, there are only bad leaders? It's completely extreme ownership kind of system. Like whatever happens in a team, it is only the leader who has to take the responsibility. Do you believe in it?
See, it's a difficult question to answer. Yeah, leader definitely has to take the onus for that. But what happens when the leader is not doing the right thing, and everyone is just simply keeping quiet, not pointing out to him? So in India, it's a big problem that unlike Western countries where people feel that you are wrong, whether you are the MD or CEO or whatever you are, anyone can talk that this is what is the right thing to do, like that. Whereas in India, we have not fully got into that kind of culture. So things may be happening wrong in a cricket match or in a business. Leader definitely has to set the goals and put the ground rules and monitor, etc. I have no doubt. But leader is, after all, a team consists of leader plus all these people together. If our company, MD, CEO, then finance head, HR head, procurement person, planning person, everyone work together in a right manner, only the company can succeed. leader has the ownership of monitoring all these people and correcting and all those things are there. But I don't fully, it doesn't fully justify that all the bad results is only because of the leader, because many times it may be because of the mistakes of the team members, or they are not going to the leader and giving the right feedback. So I would say still a large portion responsibility lies with the leader only, but I think the team, all the key members of the team has to follow their respective roles and also be open about anything that is not happening in the right manner in the organization. Then only organization can prosper.
That was seriously good thing that you spoke about it actually. So thank you. So thank you so much for being on the show. So that was absolutely super powerful and it was really helpful for everyone and everyone watching on the show.
I also enjoyed speaking to a youngster like you and sharing my experience.
Thank
As
you
you
so
said, my experience, your age may be the same.
Yeah.
But today's youngsters are very far more brilliant and coming out with a lot of ideas, startups, etc. So really, we have to be running all the time with catch up with people like you.
Thank you so much.